Tricky debates. It's fun, awkward talk.
I'll see him busy. Okay, on that note, I welcome you to the world-accepted Tricky Debate. Tricky Debate is proudly supported by Eats Ali, located at Western Okrom, close to the TTI school gate. Contact them via 024-912-6459 for all your catering needs. At Eat Ali Eatery, our dishes leave no dishes. Alright, so there are areas of the brain that experience happiness and unhappiness are different, okay? The areas of the brain that experience happiness and unhappiness are different. It turns out happiness isn't the opposite of unhappiness in your head. In fact, it is possible to experience both happiness and unhappiness at the same time. That's why sometimes you see some people, whilst you are all happy, all of a sudden they switch, back to unhappiness. Yes, it's the two sides of their brain working at that time. Self-report studies of happiness indicates that people who are married are happier than those who are not married. It is not by fault. But sometimes your partner's mood puts you off, and eventually it makes you also unhappy just because you care for them. In some cases, it can also be dicey because for certain relationships, when one party has a certain emotional control, it is misconstrued as not being care or showing care to the partner when their mood swings here and there. So tonight on Topic Time, we are asking, tonight on Tricky Debates, I am asking this question, that should couples prioritize marriage over personal happiness? Yes. Should couples prioritize marriage over personal happiness?
Tricky debates. It's fun, awkward talk.
Right. So joining us for debate as Miss Philo, because Nana has run away. This because of what Miss Philo did to him last week. Now he is doing hide and seek with Miss Philo when it comes to the debate. So he's run away. He just comes to the studio, then he runs out. He comes, then he runs out. So we'll find a replacement. Either me or somebody. Somebody must represent the men, because Nana has run away. Oh Lord!
It's the Tricky Debates.
Alright, so I have in the house a special friend of ours, Mr. Innocent Asima. I don't know, are you going to judge it or you are going to be a debater? Which is which? Now that Nana has run away, I don't want Miss Philo to do the same thing to you, for you to also run away. Miss Philo doesn't show mercy when it comes to this debate thing. So Miss Philo is speaking for us to prioritize marriage, whilst Mr. Asima, in conjunction with me.
Hey, two people debating one.
Look at what you have done to a whole chief. What do you expect?
No, but you guys are not being fair.
It is not a matter of fair. The way you have butchered this man, that now as soon as he comes, then he picks into the studio and then he run away.
How can two big men debate a small girl?
Fine, I'll still be a judge. Then prioritize personal happiness. Mr. Innocent is going to speak on prioritizing personal happiness. All right. Hey, where's my bell?
Sammy Asantwine.
No, you are not.
It will take two men to fight me.
You are not the Asantwine.
To defeat me, Maubua.
You are more than that. That's why a whole chief has run away. Okay, I found the bell. So today our time is far gone, okay? So we're going to do very, very short debate, 2 minutes. So the first 2 minutes will go to Miss Philo. Then the next 2 minutes will be yours. We'll switch back to Miss Philo for another 2 minutes. Then another 2 minutes for you. Then we'll do rebuttals. I have received a few messages. We'll play them along. I'll give my conclusion and hopefully by 8:45, we should be done with Tricky Debate. If you want to join in with into our debate, you can also send us a voice note or a text message of WhatsApp to 024-488-3008. All right. So, Miss Philo, your 2 minutes is up. Let's go.
Okay. So the topic should couple.
Can you use this one?
Why is the mic not good? It's good.
Okay, you are not speaking into the mic.
Yes, I wasn't speaking into it.
Okay,
so the
question is this: should couples prioritize marriage over personal happiness?
So I think it depends on the individuals, right? Couples should prioritize marriage. It depends on their individual circumstances, their values and their priorities. Do you understand? So like if you go for the other side, it's your personal decision. Okay. If you want to go for the other side too, it's your personal decision, the vice versa. So like as I take the stand, you should prioritize marriage.
Okay.
Over your personal happiness. Why am I saying this? See, you are going to live with this person for the rest of your life. So if you're going to be happy in the marriage, it depends on you. What the contribution you put in is what, basically garbage in, garbage out. What you put in is what you're going to get it out. So do you get it? So at the end of the day, you have to show what commitment and stability. You need to be stable in the marriage. You need to be more committed to it. You have to put in your all. And so you provide a sense of commitment which is beneficial for both of you. Because if you are committed, you'll be able to give your all into the marriage. And trust me, the marriage will work out perfectly. You will get that happiness that like individually or personally you wanted. You'll get it with your partner. Okay. So I say that you need to be committed to it. And then it also has the family and the social benefit that comes with it. You see, you're not thinking about yourself alone. Think about the family. Because when you guys live together, definitely there's going to be children. There are going to be children. There's going to be a child and there are going to be children after. So you need to think of their happiness too. Then you have to provide, you should be able to recognize their importance, their individual needs and all that. You work towards it. Because if you decide to think about yourself alone, what becomes of the family? The children you bringing up, what becomes of them? It means that joy that they're supposed to get, they wouldn't get because everything is going to be you. But if you prioritize the marriage first over your happiness, trust me, that happiness that you could get out there, the family is going to give you that happiness. So for me, I think you should prioritize the marriage over the personal happiness because it comes with some kind of social benefit too as well. And like it has a lot of social benefits, so that's it.
Okay. All right.
What's on temper? And I am not style.
Oh, I will not be swayed by this.
This is Radio Max 105.1 FM, your magic music station, Western Region's favorite urban station.
Right. That's my let's go.
All right, good evening, our cherished listeners. And for the purpose of the subject, I'm speaking against the motion that couples should not prioritize marriage over personal happiness. You know, it's very interesting. You said you want to pour everything out into it, and so you are sacrificing everything. But marriage is not a life sentence. You should be able to make sure that whilst you're in marriage, you should enhance your life, not imprison yourself in the course of the relationship or the marriage. If staying in the marriage consistently bring pain, stress, or emotional harm, it's not noble to stay in that kind of self-destructive relationship. Okay. And so when it happens like that, you need to look out for your personal safety to ensure that once you are in a good standing, then you can also contribute to the success of the relationship. But if you are only sacrificing, only killing yourself and not getting anything back, then I don't think that is a good relationship to stay in. Secondly, I also think that when you sacrifice your personal happiness, that can lead to resentment. People tend to resent people themselves or their partners whilst you are in the relationship. So when subjects like that happen, you need to look out for what can make you happy. And based on your happiness, you can also contribute and bring that happiness into the relationship as well. Many couples who ignore their own happiness to prioritize the marriages end up resenting their partners over a period of time. And then the resentment also tends to corrode the love in the marriage. Once the corrosion comes in there, you will not be in a position to get the best out of it. And so it's important that you look at it and you get to understand that unspoken truth is that the unspoken truth most of the time is that divorce often begins with years of silent suffering for the sake of appearance. People want to just look beautiful in the public domain, appear that everything is okay, whilst they are bleeding inside and they are killing themselves inside. And so you need to look out for basic things that can make you look very vibrant, be active, be happy, and based on that you can be able to bring that back into the relationship. You can't give what you don't have.
All right. Okay, Miss Philo, it's time to advance your point. You have another 2 minutes.
Okay, so I said that since we are all, we both are going to live together. See, Mr. My opponents make a statement. Yes, my opponents make a statement like I said you should be committed to the relationship. Marriage is not a lifetime thing. But remember that at the altar, on the altar, what we say is for better, for worse, till death do us part. So it's a lifetime thing. So if I am going to live with this person for the rest of my life, then I think I need to be more committed to build that life together, to find that peace, to find that joy that I want. The family that comes out of this marriage, the peace that I want, I can give it to them. And then I need to leave a legacy for my future generations. If I am able to live in that marriage for that time, I'm able to stand the test of time, to build that marriage, find that happiness there. It means that I'm towing some kind of line for my future generations to follow suit. So why not? I need to do that. And so far as we are living together, we are growing together. So if I'm coming to grow old with you, definitely I need to put in my all to be happy with you, so that I don't look elsewhere. Because nobody will give me that happiness elsewhere. I have to do it in my home, build that home for it. The home that will give me that happiness. When I see my family, when I see the kids, how happy I become. When my husband comes back from work, the kind of excitement on his face, or the kind of things we share in the house, the jokes, the joy, the good times, the bad times, all these things makes me happy. So I need to build it. And before you can build it, you need to be committed to the marriage. If you're not committed, you can't. And being committed is putting your all, not some, all into it to make it work for you. Do you get it? Hey, I'm super nabo.
Yes, your 2 minutes is up. I'm being a very fair judge.
Oh, today.
So, yes, I'm not going to make sure you run away like you've done to Nana. Okay. Mr. Innocent, please, your next 2 minutes begin now.
Thank you, Henry. And you see, what I was saying from the initial state, to buttress it further, happiness and marriage are not enemies. The idea that you must choose between happiness and the marriage is a false dichotomy, because a marriage worth keeping is one that encourages joy, personal growth, and mutual well-being, not the sacrifice of one partner's identity or the peace. So if we are in a relationship and it's like you are always the one sacrificing in, you are always the one putting in, and the other party is just living on your expense, then it becomes draining. It drains the life out of you. So if there is something you can do to salvage yourself after the situation, you should be in a position to do that, to keep yourself, because you can be in the relationship or the marriage and be dying. And you want to die at the expense of the marriage. No. We have heard countless stories where the marriage was not bringing happiness to the partner. We hear of this gospel musician who passed away in Nigeria just because of the abuse and other things he was going through. She had the opportunity. She could have chosen to say, well, this is affecting me. I need to look out for my health, my life, at the expense of just the relationship. What people will say, what God has put, like as my sister is saying, you are in it together. You are married to it. What God has put together, let no man put asunder. But the question we ask ourselves is, people run away themselves and then they go and put themselves together. Is it God who put them together? No. God didn't put them together, they put themselves together. And in that context, when things are not going, should you stay in there? You need to look at what will make you happy. Then based on that, you can bring that happiness into the relationship that you find yourself. Now, people also evolve over time, and marriage must learn to adapt or release alongside as we go through that relationship. What made you happy in the past 10 years or 20 years or 5 years of the relationship will not be the same as it is. So let's prioritize our personal happiness. It is not selfish interest, it is courageous, and it is necessary.
Your mic is not awful. So any noise you make, it comes into my ears.
Then stop cheating. Be fair.
I haven't.
Be fair. You rang the bell, you were still talking, and you didn't say anything. Are you being a good job?
I've said something now. All right, so we are going to now do rebuttals. We have 4 minutes for that. Please don't shout over each other. Just let's manage the time together. And I'll come through with some of the messages we've received from our listeners.
So who goes first? Is it me?
Yes.
Okay, so when Mr. Inu was speaking, he was like, he knows of those gospel musician who died out of. And I also know a man called Mr. Asma who has been in marriage and he's very happy because he has he's prioritizing marriage over his personal happiness. So he's very, very happy. So I'm surprised that Mr. Innocent is saying this. I'm surprised he's not, because I know Mr. Asma is really happy in his marriage and he's really enjoying. Do you get it? So marriage is about what you put in. That's just as I said, it's more like a computer, garbage in, garbage out. If you want happiness, put in happiness, and at the end of the day you get that happiness back, right? Do you get it? Like there is communication, you compromise each other, then you help fight the challenges. If you're able to fight the challenges, you will sail through like that. So when Mr. Smart says that like what God has put together shouldn't put asunder, yeah, chill. God said that, but what's not who say no woman? Yeah, Coca-Cola shape. For this man with a beer with this, I want to be with him. So why don't you why don't you sacrifice? Marriage is all about sacrificing. Because the other party is sacrificing as well as you. So if he sacrifices and you don't, then what becomes of the marriage? That happiness wouldn't be complete. So you sacrifice, you compromise. That is, you looked at each other's flaws, you correct it, you build things together, create that beautiful home, create that beautiful atmosphere for yourself, and trust me, you're good to go. You have the happiness there.
Yes, Mr. Asma.
Oh, is it the one? Oh, okay.
Thank you. I think this was what we call stray bullet.
Yes. Yes.
My son would tell you that's a stray bullet down there. But it's a good subject that you just raised up there. You cannot be in a relationship, put in the relationship, if you yourself are not happy. If you yourself are not happy, there is no way you can invest the same happiness you want into the relationship for the relationship to work. So for the relationship or the marriage to work, first you must work on yourself to be able to be in a position that you can bring what you want the marriage to be into it. So firstly, you must work on yourself to bring yourself to the status that I can be able to offer happiness, I can be able to offer the joy and the peace that is needed in the relationship. Don't just say because it's a marriage, so I have to stand outside, everybody's looking outside, so looking at you and I, so you pretend that everything is okay, and then not everything is not working actually. There is this story, there was this pastor who was preaching in Accra, and when he came on the scene, he had issues at home. And when he met the wife was coming to church that Sunday very late. He could not, because he was coming in late. He was standing on the podium preaching, and then the wife just came, stood at the back there, because he had unresolved issues from home. She was just standing in the back there looking at the husband on the podium. And the gentleman got confused and started quoting very interesting scriptures. I don't know whether we heard about Abraham chapter 6 verse 5. And he started quoting wrong scriptures. And there is no way there's Abraham chapter 6. But he has to quote those things because he himself was not at peace and he could not give what he didn't have. So it's important that whilst you are growing, trying to make the marriage work, you must work on yourself to have the right inner peace, inner joy, and then you can be able to invest that back into the relationship. So let's put ourselves together.
That's why I said it's garbage in, garbage out. I want to find happiness. So why don't I give in happiness to get it back? Because if I make you happy, that is where you can also make me happy.
Okay.
So you have to put everything together to make each other happy. That's it.
All right. So I've heard both of you. Here are a few messages from Emmanuel in Accra. He says, I'll go for personal happiness. I mean, I think he wants to say personal happiness first from what I know in life now. Marriage will always be second. Yes, so that's one message there. And this one is from Jojo. She says, marriage is a framework that can support a loving, committed relationship, but it's not valuable if it doesn't serve the well-being of the people in it. A marriage without happiness, respect, or fulfillment can become a source of harm rather than strength. When couples put mutual happiness, trust, and emotional connection first, they naturally build a stronger foundation. But which one too is marriage over happiness? Boy.
And you prioritize marriage over self-happiness.
Okay, so a marriage that causes ongoing unhappiness isn't ethical even by societal standards. Nyamiankasa did not make it so. Maybe God Christ saw that you were miserable and said, take this other one and be happy. And you are saying what? I am not the one saying what. It's a question. Anyway, here is another message from Ken. He says, this is tricky debate indeed. Let me start by this way. First of all, I am not against or for whether couples should prioritize marriage over personal happiness. I think couples have got their personal reasons being happy together aside their individual personal happiness. Secondly, I believe each should be prioritized when the need arises, because in reality, I believe marriage or marriage happiness feeds on personal happiness to grow or strengthen marriages and a lot more. The same way personal happiness feeds on marriage happiness to build individual greatness and well-being. For instance, external factors like a bad day at work could affect personal happiness, which at this point, marriage or marriage happiness could cheer us up or make us happy. At the bottom of it all, I think it should be marriage kakra, personal happiness kakra. Let's think of it like climbing a ladder to get to the top. At the end of the day, a successful climb to the top means all four limbs are safe. Okay, thank you very much, Ken. That was quite elaborative. Okay, so let me just do this right now. Come in.
You pass self-happiness because if cementasa self-happiness you pass self-happiness because that American relationship in a mood swing. I don't know how I can or the more into 2 hours of self-happiness, be a good one, as an I'm arguing or fine, or as I grania. Good to go because the relationship are no matter how no more stress like it's self-happiness, I'm more than self-happiness here. But because it's been more on any day. They send a feed in your day, if you feel in your day, if you put the improbate in it. So, Banama, like what in your talk, I want it's self-happiness or they prioritize self-happiness because self-happiness when they're good to go. I'm going to show you some day. The self-happiness is the right option.
Situation, very dicey. I don't say our any personal interest. Personal happiness is very important. Our bit so far as we nipan, our bit your personal happiness, ebema pressure name your man, you may be brave and mouse, ebema was when you natch our ready bit but dicey, then our race with also shower ye. Personal happiness, is very, very important.
All right, here's another one.
I don't think couples should prioritize marriage over personal happiness, because a person who is unhappy will still feel miserable even in a happy marriage. And then, of course, many people have endured marriages instead of enjoying it.
Good evening. Thank you for another opportunity to share our views and thoughts. I would say that personal happiness and marriage shouldn't be seen as two conflicting priorities. I think they are both important. So, as much as you need to take good care of yourself, because you cannot give what you don't have, you have to work on yourself. You have to make sure that you prioritize your own needs, make sure that you are at peace with yourself. The marriage is also important because 2 heads, they say, is better than 1. And the both of you can become a formidable force when you are able to work through the marriage, work it well together. So I would say that you should find a balance. And in finding the balance, you have to make sure that you prioritize your need as well as the need of the other partner. You have to make sure that you are able to compromise and adjust, because you can't be self-centered. It can't be you all the time. Sometimes you have to, put your needs aside, because you want the marriage to work. Marriage is work, as we all know. Even living with your own siblings, you know how it works. It's not easy. So you don't expect marriage to be on a bed of roses. So as much as you want to think about how sane you want to be, how at peace you want to be, you have to make sure that you work the marriage too. So it's both ways. So you really need to find a balance. Marriage is balanced. So you make sure that there is mutual respect. You make sure that you are not self-centered. You have to make sure that your partner also gets the best of you as much as you want the best of him or her. So I wouldn't say, in conclusion, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't choose personal happiness over marriage, or I wouldn't say the other is also important than the other, because both ways, it has to work both ways. That is all that I have to say. Thank you.
Okay. So this one came on our Facebook wall. That's HKO Live on Facebook. Mr. Nadine Endam says that prioritizing personal happiness can lead to personal growth and a more fulfilling life, which can positively impact the marriage in terms of mutual support and shared goals. All right. Enough said from our contributors. I think I'll let the two of you rest and then give my personal thoughts on these. Okay. So couples, I think, should strive for a good balance between prioritizing marriage and personal happiness. Okay. You see, while marriage is a significant commitment and partnership, individual happiness is also crucial for fulfilling and a healthy relationship. So prioritizing either of one of the two at the expense of the other can lead to resentment and dissatisfaction. So my baseline is this: you must find a good balance for the two to work. You cannot generate what you don't have. An unhappy person cannot generate happiness to somebody. That will be totally fake, and it wouldn't work out well. All right. So, thank you to our debaters tonight, Miss Philo and Mr. Innocent Asima. Yeah, we have candidates. I am HKO Live. Tricky Debate will return next week.
Tricky Debate. It's fun,